Hi babes, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Jada, the Mindful Mage, and today we're taking it back to our foundations. We're taking it back to the basics. I've been in this space for about 5 years and a practicing witch for a better part of a decade. Yeah, and I have seen and created a lot of signs that you're a witch, 5 signs that you should be in Wicca, 5 signs that you're spiritually awakened, beginner witch tips, beginner witch basics, beginner witch must-haves. You know, I've seen a lot of those videos and they can be helpful, but what I have not seen much of is, okay, you're a witch, or you're interested in being a witch. What does that mean? What does that look like? Where do you start? You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So grab yourself a drink, a cheeky little witch's brew, and let's get into it. So you feel like you're a natural born witch, meaning you've always had this intuitive pull toward magic, nature, energy work, and psychic energies, or blah, blah, blah. Oh my days. Paranormal, thank you. Paranormal phenomena. Yes, this is such a exciting discovery, right? It's a powerful discovery, but it can also make you feel quite afraid and a bit overwhelmed because, like, what do you do now? There's so much to learn. There's so much information out there. So I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide of where you start and how you trail along the path in your journey. The first thing you're going to want to do is ground yourself. Find something that makes you feel centered. Spend some time in nature, at your favorite tree or at your favorite pond, by the beach, whatever really calls to you. Meditate, take nature walks. This is very important. What this is going to do is it's going to help anchor your spiritual journey because you're going to root it in the earth. And as long as you're doing that, it's going to feel a lot less overwhelming. So find your space, and that's where you will go to physically, if you can, when you need to center, or mentally, when you just need to take a beat, take a deep breath, and come back to center. It'll work the same. Number 2, you're going to read, you're going to research, and this is where you're going to do your self-discovery. Like I said, there's a lot of information out there on witchcraft, on all the various aspects of witchcraft and all the different paths that you can take. So it's a lot to consume, and you don't have to apply all of it. Just do what feels right to you in your spirit, right? There's no need to rush to label yourself or put yourself in a box. You'll find a lot of information on Wicca because it's readily available. It's one of the more popular paths for witchcraft. There's green witches, there's hedge witches, kitchen witches, eclectic witches, water witches. The list goes on, but there's also Santeria, there's hoodoo, there's voodoo, and those are more so closed practices. You know what I mean? I like to say there's no rules in witchcraft unless you are finding yourself called to a closed practice. There are definitely a lot more rules and structure there. So if that is the path you end up choosing, know that you will need to reach out to a priestess or a practitioner, someone rooted in that path that will help guide you along it. On that note, if you are of African, Caribbean, or Latin descent, you're going to want to look into your ancestry and then look into the cultural and spiritual practices of your roots. If you can ask your parents, your grandparents, your aunties and uncles, and they can provide you with that information, fantastic. But if that's not an option for you, like it's not an option for many of us, because a lot of us have grown up in very, very strict religious homes and where these types of conversations are an absolute no-no. So You may have to do this on your own, and that's okay. There's, again, a large community here for you that will help. So you'll look into your ancestry, you'll find the spiritual and cultural practices, and then you'll take it from there. While you're doing this, you're going to want to keep a journal of the dreams that you have, the intuitive feelings that you get, even if they're just daydreams, like you're not full-blown sleeping, the sounds that you may hear, the animals that you come into contact with, it feels like frequently, or it just feels like an interesting encounter that you have with an animal. That may be a guide, that may be a message from your ancestors or from a deity that's trying to work with you from the path that you're being called to. So your journal, no matter where you are on this path, journaling is going to be so exceptionally important because it is going to show you your growth, and it's going to show you all the bits of you that you may not have been able to see looking at it piece by piece. But once you have these all written down, you have them in a journal, you have a whole map of yourself, this whole overview that you may not have really appreciated before. And you'll always return back to that as you learn and you grow. So journal, 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 journal. Very important. Number 3, you're going to want to develop daily practices or rituals. And you can start really small here. Pick an affirmation that you feel strongly represents yourself and where you see yourself going, like your highest version of you. Pick an affirmation that suits that person and say that to yourself every day in the mirror, when you're doing your skincare routine, or when you're brushing your face, or when you're having your first sip of coffee or your first bite of food. It doesn't really matter how you do it. Like stirring your coffee 3 times, and you can blow your affirmation into that. This can be a daily thing, and it's good to set a practice that you do every day. You'll want to also practice cleansing your space. You can do this with candles, with incense, with smoke, with fire, with sound, with music, or just by visualizing, which is actually a very, very important aspect of your witchcraft, of your journey, especially if you have any psychic ability. Honing your visualization skill. So if you're going to go that route, which you totally can, because again, you don't need tools here in the craft. It's nice to have some, certainly, when you get further along, but you don't really need any tools. So what you'll do is you'll find a space where you feel centered. You sit, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And once your breathing and your heart are steady, you're going to envision being surrounded by golden light. You're in a bubble of golden light. You can feel it tingling across your skin. You can feel the hairs on your arms rising in response to this golden energy around you. And you're going to envision yourself pulsing that golden light around you, in and out, in and out. And then you're going to envision you spreading that light outward until it encompasses the space around you, and then the entire room around you, and then your entire home, if that's where you are. And then you'll envision yourself pulling that light back in until it's fitted over you like a glove, like a second skin almost. That's a great place to start. Work on doing that every single day. That is how you will protect your energy. That's how you will cleanse your energy in your space if you have nothing else on or about you to help you do that. And you will also begin to wear that golden second skin, like the shield that it is, every single day. The more you get comfortable with it, it'll become second nature to you. This daily practices stage is also a great time to determine which of the elements you have a stronger affinity for. I myself personally have a stronger affinity for water, and then fire, and then air. And it can be any body of water for me, but specifically for me, it's the ocean. Sadly, I don't live anywhere near an ocean, so you know how much that hurts my heart. But for you, go out, get out there, go out and take a rain bath. So basically you just go for a nice little walk while it's raining. It could be a drizzle, it could be a downpour, that's up to you. But that is such an amazing way to absolutely cleanse your spirit, a rain bath. I'm getting sidetracked, but yes, find which element you feel the most secure within, you feel the strongest connection to, you feel the strongest pull toward, and that will be your element. You can work solely with the elements if you like, or you can work with the deity, or you can work with the energy of yourself, but we'll get onto that later. So yeah, pick your element. Number 4, learn energy and intuition basics. I cannot tell you how important meditation is here for many reasons. See, with the craft, with witchcraft and with psychic ability, they kind of go hand in hand. And when you are doing spell work, when you're doing ritual, your ability to imagine what it is that you are trying to bring forward or what you are trying to push away is so important in conjuring and or releasing that thing. Because if you can see it and you can feel it and you can smell it and you can sense it, it is as real as you and I in the flesh in bone. Okay? So you're going to practice meditating every single day, even if you can only commit 5 minutes to it. Commit that 5 minutes daily. Make it part of one of your daily practices if you like. Meditation will strengthen your intuition and it will strengthen your ability to visualize. Both of those things are very important in spirituality and in witchcraft. To learn the energy basics, you're just going to want to experiment with sensing energy. You can experiment with sensing the energy of inanimate objects, crystals, a deck of cards, an old book you got from the library. You can experiment with reading the energy of the people around you, of the animals in your home, of the tree in your backyard that's been there for 90 years. It doesn't matter what you choose. Just get a feel for it. It may seem ridiculous when you're starting out. I know, oftentimes a lot of this does, because we're so deeply conditioned to believe that magic is fantastical, that all of this is fantastical, but it is not. It is older than all that we know, and it is the basis of everything that we do. People thought that light waves and the speed of sound, all this jazz, was witchcraft before science explained how such things work. And to believe or not believe in magic, which is just energy, not believe in magic, but believe that your phone is just connected to this nothingness that you can't see or hear or feel or touch or experience, but you know it's there because you've got internet connection. I mean, come on, it's all energy. That's energy, and so is magic. So it may feel a little ridiculous sometimes, but go with it, okay? And again, another reminder, track all these things in your journal, because it's going to blow your mind how many patterns you see over time and how much growth you see over time and how much of a sense of self you begin to feel. You begin to really discover who you are and what your thing is. You know what I mean? So if you are going to invest in anything for this journey, let it be some notebooks, babe, some journals. You can make them cute if you want. Number 5, which is my absolute favorite part, create a sacred space for yourself, a safe space. It doesn't have to be anything all elaborate and expensive. No, it can just be like a little corner for yourself, like this little corner I have for myself here. Although this isn't my sacred space, it's just my like vibey space. Anyway, getting off track. And it doesn't have to be out in the open either, because again, I know a lot of us come from very strict, very religious spaces where practicing is a no-no. So if you have to put it in a dresser drawer or in a shoebox, or in your closet, or under your bathroom sink, or in your windowsill behind the curtains. It doesn't matter. Pick your space and make it your own. It could be as simple as a candle and a feather you found outside, or a really cool looking rock that you found outside, some moon water, some salt for protection. Let me get comfortable here. It doesn't matter. Make it your own, make it special to you, make it sacred. This is going to be the anchor for you, for your spirit, and for your practice. This is you. This is where you come to center when you cannot commune with the elements. This is a place for focusing and for grounding and for connecting. I like to create sigils here, and I like to put them on my altar or my sacred space, and things that align with either the element that I am connected to, or all of the 4 elements if I choose to do so, or the deity that I like to work with, or whatever I feel represents my highest self. Who you work with, what you work with in your practice, on your path, honey, that is completely and totally up to you. Your journey is your own. No one can decide it for you, okay? Like I said, there's a lot of information out there. Anything that doesn't feel right in your spirit, anything that doesn't call to you, that you don't feel aligned with, don't apply it, okay? Don't apply it. You do you. Number 6, take this at your own pace. This is a lifelong journey. There is not a finish line. There is never a point where you will have amassed all the knowledge that you will ever need to have, because we are constantly learning and growing as we go. Even if you're 99 years old, you'll still be learning and growing and experiencing new things. So it's not a race. There is no finish line. Take this at your own pace. There will be ups and downs. Sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry, sometimes you'll want to scream. Sometimes you will feel so disconnected from yourself and your spirit and your practice that you'll want to give up. That is what your sacred space is for. It's an anchor that will anchor you to your practice. And if that doesn't work, or you aren't able to keep one, find a sacred item and charge that with the energy of the elements or the moon, whatever really resonates with you. You do not need to know your path or your label right away. You do not need to do elaborate spell work and rituals. Focus on learning your natural rhythm and your natural gifts. And when you do decide you want to start doing spell work, I would definitely start small. It's all okay. I won't say it's all in your intention, but your intentions play a massive role. Intentions without action are practically useless. So make sure your intention is true, and then follow through with the action in your spell work. It doesn't need to be anything major. And the more that you believe in it, the more powerful it will be. Again, I know this can seem a little crazy and fantastical because that's what we're conditioned to think. But believe in it. Believe in yourself. Believe in the universe. Believe in the energy around you. We are the universe, and the universe is us. We have just as much power to affect it as it affects us. Okay? I hope that helps. Again, there's a large community out there of witches. There's a lot of information. So look around on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Find a witch or a spiritual individual, someone that really resonates with you, someone that you really like. And if they say something that you don't agree with or you don't think applies, you don't have to keep it. You don't have to apply it to you. Be discerning here on your path and building up that golden shield around you. Cleansing and protecting yourself, your space, your mind, your body, your spirit will help you to be more discerning in life. Also, don't feel bad if your gift of discernment isn't as strong as you would like it to be. Just like anything else, it's a muscle that you have to build up. It's something that you have to strengthen, and that takes trial and error. That takes failing and then coming back stronger. That's just the way it is. And finally, number 7, honor your power, babe. Honor yourself. If you feel as though you are the root of your power, your highest self, beautiful. I love that. I personally believe we all have divinity within us. So if that's how you choose to honor yourself, by honoring that spark of divinity within you, lovely. Honor your guides, honor your ancestors, honor your deity, whoever, whatever you choose to center yourself in your spiritual practice around. Honor them. I would say at least once a week, especially if you have an altar built to or for them. Don't forget to honor them and yourself. And you can do this and should do this daily with your affirmations. So again, pick an affirmation that resonates with you, that feels like it embodies you and your highest self, and your spiritual goals. And repeat that to yourself daily, every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to bed. Daily, until it feels as certain and as sure as the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. You know what I mean? Also, boundaries are crucial in every aspect of life, but especially as you begin to open yourself up spiritually to the world. You want to protect yourself, not just from other people, but just energies. You'll find that you pick up a lot of energies from people and places and spaces. So that golden light, again, wear your shield, babe. Work on strengthening it, and try not to carry the energy of others if you can help it. Sometimes we can't, but at the very least, try to release that from yourself at the end of each day, and work on your boundaries, and love yourself, and be kind to yourself, and be patient with yourself, because again, this is a lifelong journey, and it's always going to be about learning and improving as you go. Well, that's my spiel. I hope you found it helpful. For more tips and tricks and advice, hit that like button, subscribe, of course, because we're trying to build a community here, and I want to be as helpful to you guys as I can. So ask any questions that you have, any feedback that you have. I'm here to listen. I'm an open person. I'm not really the argumentative type sometimes, if you catch me on the right days. So I'm not here for, like, to argue back and forth. If you found this helpful and you want to chat, I'd love to talk to you. Let me know in the comments. And be safe out there. I'll see you next week. Bye.